Centrepoint do absolutely phenomenal work. In the homelessness arena, it's so important that our young people have their voices heard, and we know now there is over 118,000 young people without a home, and Centrepoint advocate on their behalf all the time. They make sure that they lift their voices up, and more importantly, they give them the dignity and respect that they deserve.
So I used to work in social housing before I became an MP, and I saw firsthand every day in that previous role about how housing is in acute crisis and how it affects young people especially. And if we don't have a concerted effort with government, with local authorities, with social housing providers to tackle it, where it presents itself, that we will continue to see a crisis that gets even more severe every single year.
I was kicked out of the house while I was a student, and I turned to the council because I had no one that could help me at the time. I was not heard. They said they needed more proof, and I should just go stay at a friend's house, even after I explained I do not have any friends who can accommodate me at this moment. And I had to spend a few nights on the street.
At Centrepoint, we're campaigning to make sure that no young person is left out from the support that they deserve. At the moment, we're in Parliament right now, and we're calling on the UK government to make sure that they do three things. We want to see more ring-fence funding for local councils to make sure that councils have the resources and capacity they need to make sure that they support every single young person that comes and approaches them. We're also asking for, within the Homelessness Code of Guidance, for there to be a youth section written. This means that more young people will receive the support that they need because it's youth-specific and it focuses on their needs. We're also asking for the government to hold councils accountable to their duties within the Homelessness Reduction Act. 1/3 of young people in England approached their council for an assessment, yet didn't receive one, let alone the support that they might have needed.
And local authorities are in a difficult position because when they're looking at their priorities, and at the moment a lot of local authorities are setting their budgets, it's really difficult to make that money go, to everywhere it needs to go.
Homelessness at that age can cause so much harm. It's so important that the government really steps up with all the recommendations that Centrepoint and its allies are making for really dedicated support for young people, built into council budgets and properly funded, because otherwise young people are just going to be harmed, it'll cost lives, and that isn't good enough.
Well, every young person facing homelessness has a statutory right to get an assessment. It's crucial they get this. Not enough are getting that.
So we've got to start properly funding frontline services, which hopefully the government are showing their intent to do already this year, with significant increase in the settlements and also the intention to move to multi-year settlements moving forward.
There's a youth homelessness crisis. It's built up over the last decade or so. We need to do something about it now. It really is spend now to save later. We will save and they'll meet their full potential.